Hello everyone, it's Cacti Mamba here, and today we are going to be playing some more Path of Champions, and in this I'm going to be kind of doing a bit of a tutorial, also just a bit of a talk through on why I think that Karma is just like probably one of the hardest mini bosses, if not the hardest. And whenever I say it's the hardest, I mean in terms of why it is so tough in retrospective to like which level it's at, right? Because when you look at, most champions, you go from Lulu to Gangplank to Ezreal to Zed to Nautilus to Victor, right? So this is only the third challenge in most of the champions run. And the issue with that is, you've got Ionia, which has Poppy and Lulu, which Poppy again is also another one of those champions, which is just so difficult to play around. She's not as difficult as she used to be because she got nerfed quite a bit in these last few like patches and stuff. But Gangplank Swain is also tough, but not at the same level of Karma. And the reason being, and there's a big reason why I think Karma is so tough. Okay, and the reason being is because most of the time, around the time when you get to Ezreal, typically like the quickest you can really get there is by around like level 6, but most of the time, by the time you're ready to kind of get there, you're level 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there where you're consistently kind of getting to Karma. And the issue is once you're around that level, you're not at the point where like there's kind of like a curve, if you can imagine like a bell curve, where it goes up and then it goes down in terms of the difficulty level, or like the power spike of like the bosses, where like you're kind of like moving along, right? And it's like, well, once you kind of hit this level, 22 mark, it's just so easy. Like the drop off just is brutal. Whereas like level 1, depending on what champ you're playing, maybe not the worst. For some champs, Lulu's is just easy, but for other champs, she's insanely hard, right? But there's this kind of like curve, and the reason why there's this curve is because Karma is just so unique. And the reason she's so unique is because she's not only the only mini boss who has this specific power, but she's the only boss in general that has the power where you start with 10 mana gems. So you start with 10 mana gems, which completely changes the way you play the game, right? Because most of the time, when you mulligan, you're looking for a good curve where you got a 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, whatever it might be, right? But no, whenever you're playing against Karma, you have to literally play as if you are, um, as if you are, you already have your 10 mana, because you will, and you also have to typically you have to get rid of Karma early. If you don't get rid of Karma early, she is just more valuable at 10 mana than most other champions are in the game, especially whenever you have a deck designed around her already having 10 mana to start the game. So it becomes really brutal to try and play against her, which is why you have to eliminate her so early on, or literally just risk that you might just lose the game. And so I'm playing with one of the tougher champions in my opinion. I mean, he's not. I haven't played him a crap ton, so I don't know him as much as some other champs. But I'm playing with Gnar, playing with this, and we're gonna try and get rid of her early, but we may not. And I mean, it's just one of those things where with Karma, you there's some specific things that you can do to make your life easier, but not for sure easier. So I'm gonna kind of go through those things. So we're gonna start it up here, make sure that we got decent board here and stuff, but no, it's tough because you have to play the game so differently in comparison to how you would normally play the game, which is what makes it tough. Like if you could just play the game normally from like, level 1, mana 1 all the way up until mana 10, then it'd be a lot easier to play against Karma, but that's what makes it so tough is because you're going to start with 10. So, typically I'd be like, okay, well, 4, two 4 drops, a 3 drop, and a 2 drop. Even if we don't think of them as champions, geez, this is gonna be kind of tough because we don't have any early pressure. But in this case, I'm like, yeah, this is what we want. We want this kind of lineup here. The time trick you might be able to get rid of, but I'm not gonna keep it. Actually, we'll mulligan it because we have Echo and we're attacking. But here's a trick you guys can do. Okay, if you ever, what's gonna happen? Watch. I'm going to pass, and then they are going to play Karma. They do it every time, whether you have the attack token or they do. Every single time, Karma gets played. Every time. It's the most predictable of any play in the game. And then, typically, now this one's not as consistent, but typically if you pass, they will play one more thing. So we're going to pass again, and they played one more thing, right? Now, you have to be very, very risky if you're like, oh gosh, I don't have a hand that I want to use. I might as well just pass, right? Like, you've got to be a bit risky with that. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play my two Echoes. But they might have another play. See, and this is an issue, right? Because it's like, well, now what do? I don't have any ability to stop this girl from doing anything except, you know, I can just play my Gnar. I can't eliminate her right now, but I can attack at least, which is the nice thing, because I have my ephemerals. But, okay, cool, I got her down to 6 health, but it still might not be enough for me. Luckily I have Poking Stick. I can sacrifice my... I would sacrifice my Echo if given the chance, by the way. I'm torn between Mystic Shot and Fallen Feline. Aloof's not bad here either. Because, again, what I'm trying to do here, guys, is I'm trying to get rid of Karma. The longer Karma stays on the board, the more value she gets. So I need to get rid of her. So I think, as much as I'd like to play Fallen Feline, I just need the damage. So I'm going to have 3 damage on her already. So all I need to do is, hopefully, you know, maybe get one more thing that I can use to chunk her down. Because watch, now she's going to play some cards that are going to generate her a lot of value, right? Because she get every single time she plays them, they get double, right? Because that's her level up form, is that anytime you play a spell, cast it again. Which is brutal, by the way. It's so brutal. Luckily, she's going to attack with Karma. Okay. So what does that look like? So Echo's dead. Okay. That's fine. Like I said, our entire goal is to kill Karma here. Entire goal. So I'm just going to play this. Same attack. I'm going to get a predict off because I'm Echo. I don't want him. I'm going to get another one of the Practical Perfectionists. But yeah, again, the basics are we want to kill Karma. We have to kill Karma. If we do not kill Karma, we lose the game. And so luckily, they never really played anything crazy. And here's the sad part, right guys? I'm going to kill this Karma. And then now it's just a gamble on whether or not they get another Karma. It's so frustrating because you think that like, oh, once I get the Karma, it's over. No, it's not. If they get another Karma, then it's the same process again. You have to kill the Karma again. And it's brutal because like I said, if you don't get the Karma, you will lose. It's just the way it is. I don't want I don't want any of those. I'm just gonna pass. I could have maybe gotten the +1 iterative improvement one, but okay, now I have to attack here, hopefully to bait out this, but fortunately I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna predict again. Get another time trick. Did I level up Echo? Okay. But yeah, we're just looking for them to not get another another Karma. That's our goal. Our goal right now is just to distract them from Karma. We're just gonna pass. See what they play. We're just gonna pass again. I don't think we're gonna attack this round. Okay, well if they throw like their Mystic Shots and stuff. Okay. What does he have? Okay. Alright, I think I'm just gonna play my Spotted Toad now, just as an extra blocker. And then, unfortunately, they're gonna get some healing, or an extra real hit. They don't really get healing off that. Alright. Interesting. I'm just gonna play Gnar then. Use my Pokey Stick here. Okay, my Gnar is dead. Oh, never mind. I thought he would pull a Gnar, but guess not. And we're gonna get our Pokey Stick value so it doesn't cost 0. Luckily, they never drew another Karma because, guys, if they draw like their second Karma, things can get rough. Especially if you use everything to destroy the other Karma. I will say the nice thing is, typically once you kill the Karma, and if they do not get another Karma on the board, you can win. It's not like some boss champions where like, even if they don't really play them, it still might be over. No. With Karma, it's really just as long as you can kill her, you're kind of in the clear, but the difficulty is killing her, right? And that's what makes her so tough as a champ. We're gonna get copy chump one, and we're just gonna go all in here, except for Gnar. I want Gnar for Pokestick generation. I also want to get the Spotted Toad into a Giga here. But yeah, again, it's just about, can we do, now we're just, once we've gotten this whole, like, okay, we killed Karma and all that, we're kind of in the beginning of you're in the clear, but it kind of depends. And we'll see. They might draw another Karma. Sometimes they'll play, they have cards like War Mother's Call, which is a 12 cost card that allows them to summon a unit each round. If they play something like that, then Karma can just summon. We're gonna play him. And, alright. I'm okay with that. Just one unit. I have Challenger with him too. Oh yeah, okay, we're playing Echo because we have him leveled. 3 Chrono Breaks in hand. We'll get 2 Fleeting Time Tricks. But yeah, there's, again, the game can be a bit easier depending on what champ you're playing and stuff, because like the better removal you have with your champion, the easier time you're probably going to have with Karma. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy, right? Because Karma can still do a number on you. Trust me. I know. I played so many times with Karma and stuff while trying to get through, and it's one of the biggest roadblocks I've ever had in terms of like Path of Champions as a whole. It's one of the biggest ones you can have. So we're probably gonna play Chrono Break this round and finish everything. But yeah, this was something that was even brought up. I don't know why there's a glitch like that right now, where this just isn't showing. But no, I mean, if I'm me, right? Yeah, I'm just one of those people that like this. I was seeing people that were that were asking me. They're like, "Hey, like, you know, why is like karma so difficult? How can I, get through this? And all that." And I'm like, "Well, I'll make a video on it because I think karma is also very difficult. I actually do think that they're the toughest in terms of like retrospective difficulty, mini bosses." But I mean, there's the other mini bosses are sometimes tougher too. I mean, I felt like depending on it, depending on what's going on, their mini bosses can be, either sometimes stronger than the actual boss. And the reason being is because you don't get as much time to get as many upgrades with like before you encounter somebody like Karma, right, as you would before you get Ezreal, because you're only gone through half of the the adventure so far, whereas you would have gone through a full adventure. And on top of that, you get an extra power after you beat the boss, which might help you significantly, right? And also to touch on this, Karma now doesn't do anything, by the way. Karma is useless now. Karma, she summoned the Karma too late, right? Karma needed to be on the board way earlier. Like, what they needed was to have another Karma after I killed the first one, but they didn't have that. So now they're not going to do anything with the Karma, which, hey, it's good for us, but unfortunate for them because they just needed another Karma earlier than they got it, which, that's just how it goes. But this Karma, unless something very unlucky happens, we shouldn't lose to Karma anyways. I mean, the only reason they're still in the game is because they denied my Chrono Break. This thing here, which would have allowed me to rally and just end the game. But now we have a Challenger unit, so all we do is just attack with everything and pull her in, right? And we should just win. Should. Alright, yeah, there we go. We got her. But yeah, hopefully that kind of helps you guys a little bit when it comes to dealing with Karma. It's very tough champion to deal with because she's so much value, and that's why she's so strong though, right guys? Because it's like if she wasn't this strong normally, when it came to like if she wasn't this strong normally, then there'd be an issue, right? Like, because she needs to be this strong at mana 10 because otherwise her card would suck. But here's what I was touching on, guys. Like, see how I came from here, right? I've only gone through half the course, and there's still another half, and I haven't even gotten this power yet. So I have so much value to be left out on, right? And I also didn't get as much gold throughout the run. So that's why mini bosses in general are typically can feel really tough because you're relying a lot more on your starting deck, right? Because you're not going to have a crazy amount of changes typically to your deck by the time you get there. So it's like unless you have a very good starting deck, which there's some champions who do. I mean, I can kind of list them out for you, like champions that I've leveled up already because they're just that can be fun too to play, but they're also pretty strong. Like Nami is a good one, a good example of a good starting deck. Nami is an insane starting deck. Another good example would be Gnar. Gnar has a really good starting deck, very like pretty easy to play overall. And then you've got like Teemo's pretty fun. Maybe not as good of a starting deck and stuff, but yeah, I hope you guys get the point. Karma is a very tough champion to deal with. But if you kind of start to understand the whole play, and again, remember, she's very predictable in the sense that anytime you pass on turn one, whether it's her, whether you have the attack token or it's her, no matter what, on turn one, they will always play Karma. Always. Even if you pass, they will play Karma. Then, after that, they will typically play at least one other unit, because it's very rare that they don't have another unit or anything else to play. So they will typically do that, so you can always pass for that as well, and so that you can take care of some of their mana, because then they only have a Mystic Shot, and they typically have this Frostbite one that allows them to Frostbite you, and if you're already Frostbitten, it'll deal 4. And since it casts twice, it'll just deal 4, and your unit will be Frostbitten. So you got to be careful about that one. But yeah, that's how I play around her. I just let Karma develop first, and then if I have the attack token on turn one, I typically try to attack if I can. The whole idea is to try and chunk Karma down so you can kill her, and then you just have to kill Karma. Is really what it comes down to. And unfortunately, there is a bit of luck involved. Like sometimes Karma will get a crazy card if she'll end your run early, and it's disappointing. But that's just how it is sometimes. So gotta keep your mind out for that stuff. But hopefully this was helpful. If you have, kind of any questions, put them in the comments. If you appreciated the video, please put a like and subscribe if you can. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.